Hi friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my long-awaited 9-day long Christmas market. I'm so excited, but at the same time I'm a little nervous because 9 days is such a long time. I've never done anything like it at all, so I can't wait to see how a long holiday market does. I'm currently at the venue. I'm in my car, as you can tell, and I'm almost done setting up. So setup again is quite difficult. I've done this market before. Last year I was there for 3 days, and then this year I was there for the first time slot, which was only 2 days. So I'm quite familiar with this market already, and that is why I knew that setting up and filming at the same time would be kind of difficult, because it's a market where we are set up in bigger tents. So each tent holds 6 vendors, and every vendor only has a 4-foot or 1.20 meters table, so quite the tight spaces, and setting up a camera is just like very difficult. So I will try and do my best to kind of show you as much as I can of this market. I think my setup this time around is way more cohesive, and I like it quite a lot better than the first time I did this market mid-November. So that feels awesome already. I have some nice booth neighbors, which is very important since we will be here for quite a long time, and yeah, really will get used to one another. So it's always nice to have some nice booth neighbors. And yeah, the market will start at 4 today, so it's now 3:30. So I have around half an hour until the market starts. I'm not expecting anything crazy today, and I think all the way through Thursday I'm not expecting this market to do super well, since it's only a couple of hours each evening and it's like during the week. So I'm not sure how many people will come out to actually shop at the Christmas market during the week. From Thursday on, or like Friday on, I'm expecting the market to pick up quite a lot, because then it's the weekend and then the final 2 days are right before Christmas. So I think a lot of people will be off of work then and looking around for some last minute presents or something like that, or just checking out Christmas markets all around town. So I think Friday this market will become a whole different story, but we will see about that. For right now, I actually don't know how many parts this video series will be, so you're smarter than me at this point, because you can kind of read that in the title. But yeah, I'm very positive. I had the day off of work today, so that feels awesome. I had a very kind of like chill but productive morning. You can see that in last week's video where I did some last minute preparations for this long market. I took quite a lot of yarn to work on some more plushies though, because I think that the stock there is nowhere near enough for a 9-day long market. So those are the plans for now, and I will take you guys along, of course, as always, and let's do this. Hallo.
Hallo.
Genau, ihr könnt euch gerne einfach durchschnuppern. Fest mache ich tatsächlich auch selber. Die gieße ich selber, das ist so eine Gipsmasse. Und die Kerzen sind auch nachfüllbar. Also wenn man die aufgebraucht hat, dann habe ich Nachfüller online. Genau, dann kann man die immer wieder benutzen.
Und immer die 2 großen, ne? Also die kleine und die große.
Genau, die 2 Größen gibt es, genau.
Okay,
Genau, das ist dann der Tannenbaum, genau.
Aber es ist halt. Guck mal, hier gibt es noch Berry.
Magst du mal riechen? Nehmen die beiden. Dankeschön, danke.
Besuchen, wenn du nochmal hier bist.
Ja klar, du warst ja auch da.
Ja, ich war dann in der Woche nach dir, also in der ersten richtigen Woche.
Ja.
Ah.
Ja.
Darf ich kurz?
Ja, na klar.
Hättest du die hier auch mit mehr Musterung?
Ja, ich kann mal nachschauen.
Genau,
ich habe noch ganz viel da.
Ja.
ist noch ein bisschen
Ja,
dunkler.
Ja, ich bin sofort da.
Oder hier. Die beiden? Gerne. Ich packe sie dir ein bisschen ein, damit sie gut nach Hause kommen.
Oder eigentlich sehr gut verpackt. Vielleicht mit Tüte, ja.
Ja, ich kann es auch einfach nehmen. Dann kommen sie.
Das ist jetzt ein Marktendspurt für dieses Jahr.
Ja, total. Genau. Ja, aber das ist ja jetzt nochmal ordentlich. 9 Tage am Stück.
Hätte ich mir nicht zugetraut. Mir war
Du
die
warst
eine
ja auch
Woche
7
schon.
Tage da, ne?
Ja, es war dann, der Mittwoch war,
Ach, stimmt.
war Fuß- und Bildtag und Sonntag auch nicht. Also es waren, effektiv waren es 5.
Ja, aber es ist
Aber
schon
der
ordentlich.
erste Tag, der Montag, war so frustrierend. Das war nicht wie jetzt. Da war überhaupt nichts los.
Ja, ich hab's gehört. Warst du in der Hütte oder in der anderen?
In der. Ja, also dann wünsche ich dir viel Erfolg.
Dankeschön.
Du packst wieder. Draußen sind auch noch die Vanille haben. Die waren mit mir hier in der
Ich habe
ersten
noch gar nicht
Woche.
umgeschaut tatsächlich. Also ich habe vorhin einmal kurz, aber da war glaube ich noch
An einem
Aufbau.
äußeren Rand draußen. Also, hau rein.
Ja, danke schön. Viel Spaß dir.
Danke.
Alright friends, so I'm back at the studio. It's now Tuesday, so it's market day 2 and I'm still off of work. So this morning I was actually quite busy. I got my market prep video completely finished and uploaded, and I also prepped some short form content for the next few days to have some of that in stock. And now I headed over here to the studio to talk to you guys a little more about market day 1 and then actually start prepping for day 2, because honestly day 1 went so much better than I thought it would do. So it was Monday yesterday, and personally I thought that Monday through Thursday this week would be kind of like very slow and not that many people who would show up to this market, because it's like during the week it's from 6 to 10 on a weeknight. So most people are still working for the first few hours, and then I thought maybe people would only start showing up come Friday and then the days after that. But honestly, yesterday was so busy already. We had times where our tent was so packed and lots of people were just looking around, but also some people came out to shop. So we ended up doing 28 orders yesterday, which is pretty good for a Monday, and it definitely went way over my expectations. So I was hoping to make, to be completely transparent, I was hoping to make around 300 euros per night during the week, and then of course on the weekend I want to make some more. But yesterday evening we ended up making around 370 euros, so quite over my expectations, and that is why I already kind of need to restock some items. I'm currently sitting at 3 cats left, so those did so well last night, so I definitely want to work on those today, like prepping for the market, and then I will take the yarn to work on some more of those later on while I'm at the market. And also my candles did pretty well as well. We ended up selling 9 candles yesterday, so that was also way above my expectations. But for those, I currently have enough stock for the next days, and I think like come the weekend I might have to restock a little bit. But definitely plushies will be the focus for the restock during the week. As I said, cats did super well, and then baby octos. I don't currently have the numbers with me, but I think I sold around 7 or so of those yesterday. So those 2 types of plushies will be my main focus for the prep right now. Yesterday I ended up working on, I'm not sure if you saw in the footage, I was working on some more chubby stress ball birds. So I made penguins and mallards, and those did pretty well as well. So I'm not sure, I think I prepped 4 mallards, and then I made 10 upper halves for penguins, like this, and I finished up, I think it's 7 of them currently, so those will come in handy once I start to run low on those types of items. But for now I will actually not be finishing them up because I still have a pretty good stock and my cats desperately need some work, so that will be the focus of today. And also I really need to make a brontosaurus in this color because I had an Etsy order for that yesterday, and I'm thinking that it is probably a very late Christmas gift, so I really want to make that up as quickly as possible and send that out as quickly as possible as well. So that will be the prep. Let's talk about the setup as well a little bit and about like just the whole vibe of the market so far. So it's definitely a very different vibe than the first time I did this market. There's like completely different vendors than when I was at the market a couple of weeks ago. And this time around, obviously, since it's 9 days long, it's a lot more like full-time business owners, while before, for when I did the market for just 2 days, there was a lot more small business owners that are like kind of in the same stage as me. So that is like a very different vibe, but I honestly really like it. There's quite a lot to learn from all of these other business owners around me, and I'm sure I will show you in the next couple of days the other vendors in my tent. So we have one person selling like funky socks. She's like to my left. To my right there is somebody selling greeting cards. Then we have people selling honey and like beeswax candles, but they're like very different than my candles, so that's completely fine. And then to the other side we have a jewelry vendor and then 2 girls doing ceramics. So quite a wide range of products in our tent, and I think it's like a very good product mix that really attracts people and makes them shop around at all of our booths. So I think we all did pretty well yesterday. I did do the setup that I planned in my prep video last week, so I ended up doing it exactly the way I had planned to do it, and I think it turned out so well, and I really like this setup a lot more than I did the one that I did the first time around. So I think this is like a lot more cohesive, clean, and shoppable than the first time around. So overall I'm super happy with that. And yeah, now my goal, I still have around 1.5 hours until I have to leave for the market. So I think that right now I will start to work on some cats and then head home for a little bit, have like a little chill time before heading out to the market again, and then yeah, do market day 2. So those are the plans, so let's go. Alright friends, so it's now quite a while later. I have finished up my cat that I was working on. So here it is, just a white with some brown speckles, because all of the ones that I currently have left at my booth are like tuxedo style cats, so like with a white belly patch and then one solid colored kitty and none speckled. So that's why I wanted to make a speckled one. And then I started to work on another one, which will be a calico style cat with like these 2 colors as the 2 ears. So this like fox brown and the black. So I'm hoping that I can finish this one up before I need to head out for today. And then I also ended up packing up my one outstanding order for my candles. So I will print the shipping label back at home and drop that off at the post office before heading out, so that can get out to my customer. So now the only open order is the green brontosaurus that I will need to make, because I only have a different colored green currently left. So yeah, that will hopefully get done today at the market. So now I will be heading back home because I have like 45-ish minutes before I have to leave. So I'm just trying to like take it a little chill before heading back out to the market. So I will see you guys probably in my car when we're back at the venue. Hi friends, and wow, what a past few days it has been. It's currently Friday, so today is day 5 of my 9-day market. So we will be hitting the halfway mark today, and honestly, this market has already blown me so much out of the water and it has performed so much better than I ever expected. So the first few days I kind of took you along, and I think I included a couple of clips of the past 2 days where I didn't really check in with you guys because in the morning I had to work, and then after that I just drove to the venue and was at the market until 10 o'clock every night. So it was a past few very busy days, and now I finally have the day off of work. So this morning I had a little more time to myself. It's now almost 1, so I have around 2 more hours until I will leave for the market again. But I've been wanting to catch up with you guys so much, so I included a couple of clips. I haven't edited anything of this video yet, so I don't know what you guys saw last, but the state of my booth is absolute chaos currently because the first 4 days have been so busy. And yeah, my stock for plushies is very low, so I actually have no time to waste and I really need to restock so much. I currently have one singular baby octo left, which is catastrophic. I have 0 chubby birds left, so my stress ball birds have sold out completely, even though I kept restocking them. And then we have like 10 baby whales, 2 cats, 0 turtles, so everything is just running out or has already sold out. So I have a couple of busy hours ahead of me. I did crochet over the course of the past few days, and just like when I was at the market, and kept making the things that were selling out. So I currently have this whip basket, which my goal is to completely finish up today so that I can restock some of the plushies that are so low. So we have one cat work in progress, and it's a spotted cat because the only 2 that are left is one solid color dark gray kitty and then one tuxedo cat in black and white. So I wanted to make a spotted one to kind of freshen it up a bit. Then we have, I think it should be, yeah, we have 2 mallard ducks, and this one I still need to crochet a little bit, and the other one I just need to finish up. We have 5 purple penguins, I think 3 regular penguins, and a 4th one if I can finish this one up, and then 3 of the chicks, maybe just 2 of the chicks. So I will have a few chubby birds again tonight, and then we have quite a lot of baby octos in all of the colors that I brought yesterday. So some very different colors than I usually make them in. Those are all of the colors, so mostly turquoise because that was what I had on hand yesterday. So I will need to finish those up and hopefully even make some more of those. And then baby whales as well in all kinds of different colors, especially dark blue because they have been so popular. And I actually ran completely out of dark blue, so those will be the final ones for this market. But overall I just need to order so many supplies as well. I think I have like 4 bags left at my booth. Just in general, everything is like running so low because this market has been performing so well. The revenue overall, like for 4 days, is not that high, but you have to keep in mind that right now it's Friday. So all 4 days so far were during the week where people are still working. So I'm really expecting tonight to be extremely busy. So I have no time to waste, but before I start to work on my whips, I actually need to pack up an order that I had. So this Brontosauruses sadly will not go to my booth because I'm also completely sold out of Brontosauruses, but this one was ordered online, so I will pack that up now and then hopefully finish all of my whips before I have to leave. And then tonight we will of course do the same thing again, crochet as much as we can at the market, and then hopefully finish all of that up tomorrow and keep doing that. That is just the reality of a very long market like that. But honestly, I'm loving it so far. I am really excited that now I get to focus completely on the market without having to work in the morning. So that is great. And yeah, those are the plans. So let's go. Alright friends, I'm now back at the venue. It is 3:45, which is earlier than I've been to the market all week. Usually I was running late, but now I am there 15 minutes early, so that feels pretty good because I now get to restock my booth. I finished almost all of the plushies I showed you before except for 5 whales, so pretty good there. I have a whole bag of plushies which I will restock, so this one is pretty full. I also ended up taking this basket full of chicks with hats because I hadn't been taking them because there was no space in my booth to put a 4th basket. But now, since I'm running low on so many mini items, I think by tonight, if I don't have any of my baby octos left, for example, or if the whales start to run low, I can just replace the whole basket with a different one and look a little more stocked still. So those are the plans for now. I will go inside our tent and start setting up for the day, and we will see how today goes. I honestly, my stock levels are not where I would want them to be, but we will still try our best, crochet a lot, and hopefully have some good sales. Wow, friends, so what a time jump. It's now currently the end of January, so my market has been over for more than a month, but I wanted to kind of close out this video, give you a little more context on what happened. So after that last clip, the market was a little over halfway over, but the weekend was just starting. So the busy time was yet to come, and I was already struggling so much with my inventory, and I was already running so low on it, and yeah, kind of stressing out a lot. So in the end, I didn't really have any more time to film anything else. I was crocheting like crazy while I was at the market every day, and then once I got back home, I was working on getting everything ready, adding eyes, stuffing everything, closing everything up, all the plushies that I had been working on for the whole day to have some more stock for the next day. So that ended up happening for every single day, and I was pretty productive. I made around 200 euros worth of plushies, sometimes even more, every single day while I was at the market. So I kept making the body parts for them and then finishing them up in the evening. And then what also ended up happening is I almost sold out of my candles. So on Friday and Saturday evening, I was remaking candles like crazy. I made like 200 more, all of the vessels that I had prepped to have some more stock for that. And I kept refilling my booth with those as well, but those ended up running low again at the end of the market. So it was kind of like a very crazy busy period, and I honestly didn't have any more time to check in with you guys as much as I had hoped to really take you guys along for this market and let you guys be a part of it. It just got a little overwhelming for me, and in the end I ended up coming home with just these plushies, and these were the ones I was making during the last market. So on the last day, I took all of the things to finish up plushies, so eyes and stuffing and everything I hadn't been taking the days before, and I actually finished up plushies because I knew I didn't need any for the next day because the next day the market was over. So this was what was left over in the end. So I had 1 penguin and then 4 baby whales and 2, 4, 6, 7 baby octos. So not a lot. And yeah, that should make it interesting for part 2 to talk about more of the numbers and what sold. I've never done anything like that, but it was so cool to experience. And because of that, because I know that a lot of you guys are very invested in the story of this 9-day long market, I didn't want to cut the whole experience short. So I decided to make it a 2-part video. And in the next part, we will be talking more about like the behind the scenes, what it was like, numbers, what sold, what I learned from this market, and would I do this market again, and all of that stuff. So that will be in the next part. Let me just throw one number out to make it more interesting. I ended up selling 517 items during the 9-day long market, so quite the crazy number. So stay tuned for that part. Also, if you have any questions at all about this market experience, leave them down in the comments below, because I will be answering them in the breakdown part 2 of this video. So yeah, make sure to follow along for that. And thank you guys so much for watching this video, for coming along for the behind the scenes of my first crazy long market like that. And yeah, I will see you guys again next week for part 2 of this video. So until then, bye.